Mark Donaldson alongside the former Arsenal striker Paul Mariner. We're going to talk about your former club. Now, I know you were a big proponent of Wenger leaving. Now you've got Unai Emery. How much of a step up has he actually been, given some of the results, including that one against Watford when they were 2-0 up?
Well, considering the amount of time that he's been there, I think it's very, very difficult to judge whether it is a step up in actual fact. When you look at some of the recent games, some of the recent teams that he's put out, you tend to scratch your head a little bit. When you look at the game against Watford at the weekend, you look at some of the quotes that came out from Granit Xhaka. I mean, talk about eyebrow raising. It was something that I didn't think I would witness with an Arsenal side.
Look, we've all said before on ESPN FC, and you've said it on the show, the defence has been a problem. They haven't sorted that out. I know they've got Kieran Tierney and they've tweaked another couple of things, but Tierney's not fit yet, and it's not much of an upgrade over what we've seen.
No. Well, some of the fans on social media are holding out for the likes of Holden to come back and get fit.
But really, is that going to make them title contenders?
No, absolutely not. And that, look, when you've got a poor back four, and I think most people who look at that Arsenal back four think it's a poor one, you need protection in front. And when you're a little bit gung-ho, yes, he's got the attacking options going forward, and that's all well and good. But they go 2 up against Watford. Let's just talk about the Watford game for a brief moment. They go 2 up and they're absolutely cruising in the first half. What happened in that dressing room at half-time?
What do you think happened?
Either nothing or very, very little. I'll tell you for why. Because they came out, and anybody who's been in football, Watford have got a new manager, and they're hurting in front of their own fans. They played dreadfully. Arsenal absolutely played them off the park, and of course there's going to be a reaction. So surely as a manager of Arsenal Football Club, you say, look, we'll just try and quell the damage for the next 10 minutes. They're going to come out all guns blazing. And they did the opposite. They weren't together, they weren't compact, they weren't tracking back.
Well, they weren't what they were in the first half. It got them into that position.
Yeah, because credit where credit's due, Watford did up their game a little bit. But having said that, they're playing Watford, who are fighting for their existence at the moment. So that second half and some of the defending and the actual shape of the team defensively was atrocious.
They've got a front four when everybody's fit that is the envy of most teams in the Premier League. So the issue is, minus the front four, the other 7 aren't good enough.
Well, and that's absolutely right. Because what you've got to get supply going to that front three, front four, whichever you want to call it. In doing so, you've always got to be cautious about if and when you lose possession of the ball. Are you in the modern game now, with the speed of the fast break of the Premier League sides? You've always got to be aware of that, and Arsenal were not aware of it at all. Deulofeu, who absolutely ran the show for me in the second half, he was outstanding. I've never seen him play so well. Why was he allowed to do that? You've got to double team him, just try and keep him quiet for a period of time until you can get a foothold back into the game.
With the Invincibles and the Arsenal teams that used to win FA Cups that won the league,
Yep.
that was then, this is now. Are Arsenal just another team now?
It kills me to say it, but I think at the present moment, yes. I mean, look, you can't go into battle with a poor backline and protection in front. You can't. The goalkeeper's okay, but that's about as far as you can go. Yes, they're exciting going forward. We've also spoke on the show about Pepe, where he needs to have some final product. Yeah, he looks fantastic. He's pacey, he's tricky on the ball, he whips the ball in. But we need some either assists or we need some goals from him, most certainly. But this is a very, very worrying time. Why is it? Because defensively, everybody who's an Arsenal fan know about this defence. They know that they need players, and they've not addressed that issue.
Let's end by talking about Unai Emery. We saw the graphic earlier about him compared with Arsene Wenger. He's got to take a fair bit of stick here. We can have a go at the board and the issues that they had with Wenger and the deals for Sanchez and Ozil.
Yep.
They've allowed Ramsey to go. But what about Unai Emery? How much stick does he deserve for the current predicament that they're in?
Well, he's in the same boat as every other manager. As soon as a manager has a poor performance, as soon as a manager has a couple of bad results, questions are asked, and quite right too. It's how is he setting the team up? How is he setting that team up during the week for adversity? Because you're not going to dominate teams in over 90 minutes. You're going to go through periods, and you've just got to be togetherness. The unit has got to be compact. And Arsenal are far from that. They are not compact.
You're frustrated, aren't you?
Yes, I am. I'm very frustrated.
Don't like it when he's frustrated. Come on, Arsenal, be better.
Thanks so much for watching ESPN on YouTube. And for more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for premium content and live streaming, subscribe to ESPN Plus.